the good thing is that everybody managed to transform their business relatively quickly in a time of crisis, to protect people and to keep them safe. So I think that's kind of the biggest advantage. I think for some people who have their daily tasks that they have to do, it also works exceptionally well outside of a pandemic. Like if you are, for example, the water guy at a facility, and you're being given those shots, and you kind of basically tweak your sims every day.
I was like the water guy, like, who fills the water tanks. And it's like how do you do that remote? I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Okay, we still have X.
No, but if you like have your daily tasks and notes to tackle and so on, to just check the boxes of your daily to-dos, I think working remotely works relatively well. I think the key aspects of where it fails miserably is I think that visual effects is a team sport. I think a team sport needs to be played in a team in the same room, where you pick up on each other's vibes, where you can look at each other's screens, where you can see how other people do the same type of work as you do, to improve your own work. And then kind of something where I think the entire industry will start to struggle in the years to come is, especially with the amount of work out there, is mentorships. Because if you have interns or students or junior artists who need a strong mentor who shows them how things are being done, who shows them other people doing the same type of work, who gives them a chance to look over their shoulder on how to solve certain issues, how to key a green screen well, how to do edge treatments, how to do, like obviously there are tutorials for a lot of things, but then there is kind of the human touch. And I think few of us would be where we are today if we wouldn't have had that one chance and that one mentor, or maybe a couple of mentors in our career who guided us. And I think this is kind of where working from home really runs short, because if you do working from home for mentorships, it's going to end up feeling like watching tutorials on YouTube, or kind of doing like a little bit of mentorship like every once in a while. But I think this constant stream of information of everyone around you is what kind of defines you as an artist later in the VFX business. And I think if we go away from working at facilities in the offices, then this is kind of where the industry will suffer severely in the years to come. I think there are definitely days where I prefer working from home if I just have my spreadsheets to look at, and if I have to focus real hard on work and I don't need any distractions from the outside, then definitely much better working from home. But I think for all aspects of working in a team-oriented business and making things work up to the bitter end until the last pixel is pushed out through the door to the client and approved, I think that's something where you really need to sit together in an office and kind of enjoy the profession that you have for what it is. And I would really hate to see this go away.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest point, and I noticed that when I was working 1 year for Weta on their projects for a year remote, and I think by the way, Sebastian, great job. I had a mentor who was bringing me into the company and showing me the ropes, and he did a fantastic job. It was just that first thing, the feeling was missing a little bit. Like it went very fast away because you were still home. You were still in south of France, 12 hours difference, completely different. You didn't feel the team. And one of the things, for example, I didn't felt the positive and negative stress. because I was so detached, like I'm switching on my computer and I'm looking at the screen. There maybe, burning, things are not working, pipeline breaking, whatever. I don't feel anything of that, especially also with the time shift and whatever. And of course, for the randomness goes away, randomly bumping into someone, randomly having, as you mentioned, a mentor, because you were sitting in the cafeteria and then start to talk with someone and then he's super nice. And then kind of you created this relationship to the person, friends, whatever. I think that goes completely away. And as you basically mentioned in the beginning, that's why I was curious about this topic. You want to work with people that, they basically founded the company to work with people you like. You want to have your job about the people, as you mentioned multiple times already. So I think remote takes it away in a lot of sense. And it comes also with the feeling of being more robotic.
Yeah,
in terms of that.
Exactly. Working from home means that your work is only work related. There is no distraction. It's everything you do, every conversation, or let's say 99.9% of the conversations that you're going to have are work related. There is only little small talk. There is nothing that you learn about your coworkers, about their strengths and weaknesses. It's only you're only there for the work. And I mean, I should love this, being a company owner myself, I mean, we can grow our team now with remote working artists beyond the capacity of our office space. We can now employ like thousands of people, and we don't have to rent the space for it because they're just working on their own tech being connected to our render farm.
You only need the infrastructure, basically, in terms of connection.
We can hire and fire on a daily basis, oh, that guy isn't performing well, or he didn't log on time. Let's turn off his connection and cancel the contract. We can book people from Brazil if they're cheaper. If we can book people from Canada, we can, like all sorts of things, like all over the world. We can look for the cheapest wages and employ people remotely. And for a business owner, it's actually a dream come true. But as I said earlier, that's not necessarily the reason why we started this business. And I think everybody should be just aware that this is kind of a people's business. And if it's not being run like a people's business, it's just going to feel like a big machine and you're just a small wheel in the end, or maybe a slightly larger wheel. But I don't know if this is kind of the right direction to take the industry. I doubt it. I think in some scenarios it makes sense, especially when you're working part-time or if you have kids at home and so on. But at the same time, like your home isn't a nursery. Like you're not supposed to watch kids while you work. Like when you're being paid for work, then you're there for the work and you're not kind of doing anything else. You're not ironing shirts. You're not looking after the kids. You're not, like that's kind of, we have to differentiate between what the work relationship means and what people are looking for. I mean, I totally understand it that a lot of people hate the long commute and it kind of takes 2 hours of their day to just travel to work and back home again. And I get that and I can perfectly relate to it. So I think it's here to stay, but we still have to find out how to make it work in the best way for everyone involved. I mean, as I said, like for the companies, it's great. For people, not necessarily.
You are listening to the 21 Artist Show, a podcast that inspires creatives to make meaningful content to pursue their passions. I'm talking with creators, artists, and engineers about their careers, lessons they have learned, and how to make an impact. I'm your host, Alexander Richter. I'm a technical director and coach in visual effects, animation, and games. For more content, go to 21artistshow.com. Enjoy the show.